Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, Custom Chaos? One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Booster juice, freshly made, your way.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the final round-robin draw in the 2025 Saville Grand Prix. We are at the Saville Community Sports Complex here in Edmonton, Alberta, on the grounds of the University of Alberta. I'm Jim Nix. I'll have Kaylee working production with us this evening, and we are just about to get underway in the final round-robin game before the playoffs. Apologies for that. Got a little something caught there. So anyways, we have tonight, as soon as I get this back, we have Takumi Maeda out of Kitami, Japan, taking on Jacob Libbus out of Edmonton, Alberta. Both teams sitting at 3-0. Big game, winner guaranteed of being in the playoffs. And I'm not sure, I haven't seen the whole bracket, but the way it works, top two teams from each division, barring somebody else in another division having a better record, will qualify for the playoff round, and I don't think that's probably possible here, so I think both these teams are in the playoff round. Now it's just a matter of whether or not they finish first or second, which there's usually a little advantage to that finishing first thing. Sometimes it's last rock advantage in the playoff game. Sometimes it's who you play in the playoffs. And sometimes it's just because it's nicer to win than lose. So it looks like Maeda has hammer here in the first end, throwing the yellow stones. Good team, seen this team a few times over the last couple of years, and definitely a good team. Jacob Libbus, they spent a lot of time working on the game. I had a conversation with lead Michael Hendricks last year on sweeping, which was very interesting. They do dedicate a lot of time and energy and effort to the game. I'm not sure that they travel a lot. Obviously, that's a very expensive proposition and not always possible for everybody to travel a lot. But so I'm not sure how much Libbus gets out of the area, but there's so many good events. If you're somebody that lives in Alberta or out west anywhere, really. I'm in New Glasgow, Nova Scotia, so I don't see these, but there's just so many top-end events and that you can play in without traveling very far, and a great shot there. Second stone, Zachary Polyak. Take that out. Very nicely done. Couple of options here. Looks like Jacob's going to play the out turn come around. Maybe not. Not surprised you changed this. It seemed like a little riskier for the first stand without hammer to just leave that yellow stone there. So he's going to play the red on the yellow. They're basically frozen together. So a little safer. So second stone once again, Zachary. Looks like Polyak, I believe would be how you pronounce that. I could be wrong. Thanks everybody for joining us on our Curling Stadium and on Curling Zone YouTube site. I apologize in advance for not being able to answer there. I'm reading your comments, but I for some reason on my other screen, I just do not seem to be able to access the chat component to respond. So love to hear from you. I just won't be able to get back to you. So good shot there for Libbus, Team Libbus. Maeda now will look to remove that corner, actually make the double here would be what he's looking to do. Not going to quite curl enough for that. He'll sit right there. So now actually a good opportunity with the way the rocks are staggered here for Team Libbus to come right around. Try to be above the tee line here. And it doesn't have to be super deep, but it wouldn't hurt to go right to the top of the button with this. Third stone for Libbus is Nathan Mulberg. I don't know if this whole team has been together since last year or not. Maybe somebody can tell me that. I know we did do some games with this team last year, at least one. And I know some of the members are the same. I just don't know if they're all the same. Very nicely done. Tiny little bit deep, but very good effort. Very colorful outfits by the Team Maeda. Third stone is actually Hiroki Maeda, and I don't know if there's a relationship there, if there's any relationship, or just happen to have the same last name. Hiroki's got a little bit of a tuck action going on. Don't see that too much from teams from Asia. Or Europe, for that matter. And the run here on the red and maybe catch the back. Won't quite catch the back, but this will put just one stone on the rings, but going to force Libbus to play it. Can't afford to leave that there. Throwing the intern at this. Very intense. Everybody's intense, just some people you notice it on, and other people are not so much. Can't really do much with this. Might be able to roll a little bit towards the corner, and he will. Very nice. Very nice, tough double now. If Maeda would like to take it on, I'm not so sure it's there. So he's looking at maybe hitting and rolling in the general area of that stone. Still trying to figure out a way to get two here in the first end. Well, I tell you, the practice, almost all the bonspiels now, virtually every bonspiel that we do here in Curling Stadium has at least a form of practice, and most of them have a full practice, including this one from what I can tell. Some do it with both teams on the ice at the same time, which I think is a great thing because it does speed things up much and works out very well. Just come back to that in a second, see what we get here. Looks like he's going to hit about a 2/3, not going to roll very far. But the practice you know, as much as it's time consuming, and not all bonspiels can do it, because it's this spiel with 10 sheets of ice has the luxury of just running 3 draws in a day, so you're going at 9, 2, and 7, so you got 5 hours, so lots of time if you have some extra hands for the ice guys to still do their thing. But the practice has certainly made these first and for maybe even the first 2 ends much more entertaining to watch and to play. They don't cover all of the sheet when they practice, but at the same time, they do get a pretty good feel on draw weight and things like that. And it's just it just changed a lot how the game is played normally. Not every time. You will see some teams will try to go up and down the sheet if the other team will let them a little bit, and don't play very aggressive. And you don't really want to play yourself into too much difficulty in the first end, but it's very, very much a more enjoyable experience watching the first couple ends of a game now than it used to be. So Jacob Libbus now. Mr. Libby Jacob Scott here. Coming out with an in-turn, looking to play the red. Might not mind a little bit of an inside roll, but sweeper's not doing really much here, just letting this one curl up. They were obviously pretty happy with that spot because they really didn't make any effort to keep it straight or to make it curl, so they were fine with the trajectory of the rock. However, it does give Maeda a chance to either make the double, which is probably his choice, or make the hit and roll on top of the rock behind the corner, which may well set up the two-ender, but I think if he has his choice, he just assume make the double. Libbus probably hits it, and then he gets a chance to blank. So on its way. Different position for the broom. Just have to see everything a little different slides. Trying to hold this one straight now, trying to get it to curl a tiny little bit, and it should be okay. Very nicely done. Almost didn't get enough curl. They almost kind of over straightened or straightened it too much, or whatever the proper terminology would be. Didn't let it curl, but it worked out okay. Libbus has a chance here to maybe get a force by hitting and flopping behind that corner. He has to be very careful, though. It is the first end. You don't want to do anything silly here and have this throw tick the guard and give up a free draw maybe for 2. So you do have to be careful. You're not really sure yet. You haven't played probably any shots like this at all in practice. You're not going ever to the outside in practice. It's really just draw to the button, draw to the button, draw to the button over and over and over again. So, you know, they've played 3 games already, so they certainly have seen the ice and have a grasp probably on the conditions, but still, just don't want to do anything silly here and touch that guard. It's okay. Just trying to keep it a little bit straight, make sure it doesn't do anything funny, and it'll stay right there. So, like I said, a little outside roll, I guess, behind the corner would have been very nice for Jacob Libbus there, but just a little scary. It's a little bit difficult to commit to that shot 100% here in the first inning. So Maeda now with a chance to blank, and definitely would like to do that. I'm 50-50 on these this time. I had 2 games, and twice teams went through a whole end, ran through an end, and tried to blank. Once it worked, and they made it, and once it nose hit, and they didn't make it. So working hard on this, trying to hold this straight. Should be okay. Got a ton of weight. Will he get it out? He may or may not. Might not get this out. Gotta go, and he will not. So a big break for Libbus, not really a force, kind of a force, but not really, kind of a wide open hit. Just missed a roll. That was a lot of weight too. Surprised he wasn't able to hold that, but Libbus will be down 1. Maeda takes a 1-0 lead after 1 into play, and we'll take a short break and be back in a minute.
That's life. That's what all the people say.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at gsoctickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed, and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
Or Alicia, custom chaos? One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Twister juice, freshly made, your way.
So after an unsuccessful blank attempt by Team Maeda, they will go in to end number 2 with Libbus having hammer, trailing by 1. It's always a bit agonizing when you play. I didn't necessarily play a whole end that time to blank, but the latter part of it for sure, they're thinking blank, and you make all those shots, and then you just nose hit that last one. Rolled about 10 feet, just ended up having to roll a little bit further. So coming around here, turn draw around, really carving this in nicely now. It's moving pretty much sideways. It does that here at Saville. Very nicely done. The stone, Gakuto Toroko for Maeda. Mentioned earlier this team Maeda out of Kitami, Japan. There's another team in the event too that also from Kitami. I don't know where that is, but probably is a relatively large center if they've got at least a couple teams out of Japan playing here. This is not going to work out very good. Michael Hendricks won't be happy with that one. So second guard going up for Maeda, looking to be, I think we indicated this finger number 1. Teams, anybody that uses zones for guards basically almost everybody goes 3 zones. So it's a 1, 2, and 3. You split the front of the house from the house to the hog line in thirds. 1 being the furthest out third, 2 being the middle third, and 3 being the third that's closest to the house. So if you ever see them indicating by number, sometimes when you can hear them, you'll hear that, but we don't have that ability here today. But anyway, if you do see them indicating with their fingers when they're throwing a guard what that is, you'll at least know what that is. Most of you probably already knew it, but for those that didn't, now you do. So we're into where Jacob Libbus can now remove this front stones. I think not quite sure which way he's going. He kind of changed up a little bit. I thought he would play the double peel on the 2 highest rocks. I'm not sure that's what he's playing. Zachary Polyak. And he will get that one. Well, he got the front 2. Much harder way to do it than what I thought he would play it, but anyway, it worked out. And no, that wasn't the intention, if anybody's wondering. Nobody would ever call the shot that way. That was a little bit fortunate. So Ryuo Kamikawa probably stick with the last name on your ooh. Very U-R-Y-U. Looks like it shouldn't be that hard to pronounce, but I know I'm making a mess of it, so. This one's got to just move over a little bit more. Yeah, it could be a little too deep for sure. Opportunity here for Jacob Libbus to actually make the double and probably stay behind the corner. And he's going to throw this pretty hard. Even if he doesn't get rid of that first stone, even make the hit, get rid of the back one and roll to the corner would be a very good shot. Basically no ice, looks like throwing an out turn. Trying to hit this just inside of the broom, so just left of the broom. Probably nothing's going to stay here. I couldn't imagine the shooter staying unless he doesn't make the double, then it might. Right on the nose, sure enough. Not completely convinced that they played that exactly the right way, but only because I think you had to hit it so thin to make the double that you're going to lose a shooter. And Maeda might have just peeled the corner. But anyway, whatever. He's looking at maybe being forced now if Maeda can spread these out enough. So that's your third stone. Hiroki Maeda. That's pretty good. There's really no double, no realistic double here. So Libbus looking at hitting the one closer to the tee line, rolling behind the yellow on the almost on the center line. Could also hit the high one, and same thing we talked about a minute ago. He could hit the high one, try to roll behind the corner, which would also be a good shot. And very makeable. Basically about the same amount of roll. I don't think this one's going to curl enough. Interesting that they don't try to make that move for them. Very few teams on a shot like that appears to have a chance of making a roll. Very few teams don't go after that to try to make a roll. They may well have also thought they weren't going to get the full roll, so let's not bother to stay out here. So Maeda now, I'm sure, will try to make the roll. Force Libbus to play a double. But it's not a bad shot if he just stays right there either. Needs to stay though. And he will hang on, so it works out very well. Jacob Libbus asking Nathan Mulberg now to play what is now quite a long roll. We'd definitely think about playing the top one and rolling behind the corner that way, but to each his own on this one. Planning on being able to back this up a little bit, or it may go backwards a little bit on its own, depending on how Nathan lets it go. Well, it's curling pretty good. Now, will it curl too far? Roll too far. It's going to go over and right in the hole. Very good try. Just curl a little too much on them. But after his first shot, which really didn't seem to curl at all, I'm not surprised that that one fooled them maybe just a little bit. So skipper Takumi Maeda now. Maeda, rather. As they say, holds grown very distinct. Just looking to hit the one that Libbus team Libbus just threw and stay right there would be fine. But he's got to hit it, and he's maybe not going to touch it. That's a big miss on a wide open shot. You just do not see that very often. I think probably two things. Definitely tight out of his hand. They were on it right away, so that's one part. And then probably pretty light. Could have easily given us just a little more juice on that shot. And team now discussing what to do with this next shot. Do we actually make a play on the yellow? There's really no point. Tuck around the corner. Could come around the yellow. I doubt they'll do that, but they could. Or they can hit it, which is what they've decided to do by the look of it. I do like the draw around the corner as well. Just leave it high and half buried, or even just a piece buried. Wouldn't be bad, but one thing about this shot, though, Maeda's going to have to hit something. He's not going to just ignore it and draw, so as long as he can hit this and even stay out there somewhere, Maeda probably plays a double. It's about a 10-foot double, so I think this is probably the smart shot. Jacob Libbus. Probably looking for just about a nose hit, really, on this. Maybe a little roll. He's going to try to roll to the corner. Okay, that's a good shot as well. Very difficult double. Maybe a chance to roll behind the corner for Maeda. Nothing really wrong with that shot. I thought he was just trying to hit it and stick it right there. But this was a good effort as well, so. Now, I don't know. Third stone kind of lining up the angle on the back one, so he may be going to take a run at this. If he is, he's got to hit probably what looks like about a half a stone with some weight. Well, here comes the weight. So an attempted double here, I think, for Takumi. He doesn't run into the other sheet. Whoa, he's going to miss it again. Wow, you just do not see that happen. Two wide open misses by the skipper. And that one he missed by inches, like not even just by a tiny little bit. And all of a sudden, Jacob Libbus has just an open draw to the house for 3 points. Kind of wondering, how did this ever happen? But I'll take it. Especially a team like Maeda that's sitting at 3-0, and really when you look at their games, had pretty good control of all their games. You just don't see that. You don't see that ever happening. Something like that on two basically wide open takeouts. They weren't even a little bit scary. You can see here now. You can see they're just going to play the out turn. Just needs to hit the rings. 12 feet to work with. Broom down, just kind of a heavy clean on the way down. There's all kinds of theories on sweeping, and unfortunately, I don't know them all. What I do know is that that's fine. So, nice draw, basically T-line weight. Good job by Team Libbus. They pick up a 3 without even trying, really, in that end. So, we will go to end number 3 when we come back from the break, with Libbus ahead 3-1 here at the 2025 Saville Grand Prix in Edmonton, Alberta.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
So back for end number 3 with Team Libbus with a 3-1 lead over Team Maeda. Very disappointing end to that previous end for the Maeda team, where skipper Takumi just missed 2 wide open takeouts in his last 2 shots, and as I said a number of times, and I'll stop after this one, that you just never see that. You really literally do not see that. You might see a couple of missed takeouts on shots that have some degree of difficulty beyond being wide open, but you sure don't see that very often. And on top of that, I will tell you that if you don't know, these 2 teams will be the 2 teams that advance from this division. They are both 3-0, as I mentioned earlier, but there is nobody else that's even at 500 from this division. So chances are it'll be just these 2 teams. There's a bit of a convoluted way to determine maybe what would be the final 7th or 8th positions. And it gets a little bit detailed depending on if somebody in another division had a better record than the 2nd place team in one division. So anyway, for now, we'll probably be able to let you know pretty close as we get near the end of this game what it looks like as far as who's going to move on. Maybe not a final result, but you can also check it out on Curling Zone, where you can find all the scores of all the events that are on this weekend. And you can certainly find all of the line scores from this event and the standings, and also the quarterfinal brackets are there. I'm not sure when they'll get filled in for sure, but they will be filled in as soon as we have the final results from the host committee, I guess, probably is where that would come from. So Libbus with 1 on the top of the 4-foot and a guard, and now another guard, but this guard obviously curled far too far. Interesting, Maeda's going to go after the double peel here. A little bit surprised. I don't know that he really needs to do that. This rock is well off the center line and long enough that I think you can go around it on either turn, but he's going to give it a go. Lots of weight, and he will be okay with it. Red one rolls to sort of one of those tweener guards between being a center guard and a corner guard. But in the meantime, Jacob Libbus will throw up another guard on his rock that is really just in the 4-foot. So second stone, Zachary Polyak, and a lot of extra handle on this one. I'm thinking that would tell me that he felt maybe his first one just over curled and he needs to hold it a little straighter, but he doesn't look very happy with this, so I think this is going to over curl as well and give Maeda a pretty much open hit. Chance to roll behind the guard. You could see that almost as soon as Zachary let it go. He just kind of was a little bit disgusted with it. He must have known that he helped it get going. In other words, he started it. Sometimes that just means you just hold on a little too long instead of letting the rock go, or even sometimes punching it out to the broom, if you want to use that term. You just hold on a little long and it starts to curl right out of your hand because you haven't really let it go nice and clean. Happens quite often, especially people that play most of their careers in most of the curling clubs that we have around the country that don't go as straight as some of the others. This looks very good. Might roll in the open. No, not really. Pretty good shot. Kamikawa. So Libbus in some trouble. I think that might be a bit of an understatement at this point, but has the luxury of getting out of it. Now they're looking at, they're trying to play some all defense here, which I get because you just have a 2-point lead and a 3-1 score, but it's very, very early in the game. I think if he plays this shot, he's thinking he's running. It looks like, by the way, he's trying to doing it with his broom here. He's going to try to run this onto the yellow that's in the 12-foot. That'll get rid of that one, plus the one that's the target zone that's coming in would go away. And then what would happen really is probably Maeda comes around the whole shebang again. But let's see what happens. Ooh, little awkward coming out, but stone and all that part of it was pretty smooth. Just the body looked a little bit out of whack. He's going to get 2, but he's not going to get the 2 that he wanted to get, but it'll work. Actually, probably work better. Just had a little bit of an awkward start there. You'll see that balance wasn't 100% right there, but so we're going to play the come around from Maeda. Try to come around, stay above the tee line, and stay probably, in this case, he'd like to be probably just really full 8-foot. Maybe you could bite the 4-foot. If you go in too far, what happens if you get right into just in front of the tee line, Libbus decides not to play some kind of run and just follows you down. If he makes it good, you're still shot, but you now have a very, very small scoring zone for your second shot. So you don't necessarily want this to be real deep. You'd like it to curl another 3 feet, though. Going hard. They like a little deeper than that. Whew. Had to work really hard just to get that to the paint. Which means Libbus can play this hit and roll off the yellow on the right as we look at it. Pretty much wide open. Looking for, I don't know what weight that would be. Usually that would be sort of that symbol of down around your, kind of around your belt. Would be normally, I think, most cases it would be kind of some sort of down weight, something in around the maybe board or board plus range. I don't think it is with these guys. It looks to me, we'll see in a second, but yeah, it's not a lot of weight. Okay. Yeah, so somewhere in there, some kind of easy weight of sorts. Sweeper's not really doing much, just keeping it clean. Michael Hendricks now doesn't need to do that. It's going to roll too far. Mulberg not really happy with the result. Naturally, because it was a bit of a wasted opportunity. He did have a chance there with the roll. Still pretty early in the year for a lot of these teams. I should say that because, you know, although we'll see the teams on TV and we'll even see some of these teams where, you know, we've done, I don't know how many events so far this year. Certainly the ones that I've been involved with, probably 4 maybe even 5 or something. But a lot of these teams aren't playing in those. Maybe they are somewhere that doesn't even have ice yet. Or up until now, up until recently, he's going to get the little roll. He's not going to get the roll, so another chance for Libbus. I he's not going to be super happy. Nobody's happy in this game right now. But anyway, yeah, some of these teams are only playing maybe their first event, maybe the second event at most, but they may not be curling even regularly in clubs yet. I know the curling club that I curl out of has ice this week, but that's just pretty early actually for us when we have ice in the early part of October, which would have been, it's just the 11th. Like we've had it on for probably five or 6 days now, so 6th or 7th. That's pretty early for us. And we're not alone. Most of the rural clubs in this part of the country are somewhere around the middle of October, maybe a week before, maybe a week after, something in there. The city clubs maybe are, being Halifax, when I say the city clubs are mostly open, although there's some consideration that Dartmouth Curling Club may not get open at all this year, which would be really disappointing. Very old, distinguished curling club in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, across the water from Halifax. For anybody that doesn't know the area, 5-sheeter, and just a few years ago had an overflow of members. They really couldn't take anymore, but struggling a little bit now. Have some things going on in the club that need some work, and like a lot of curling clubs, they don't have a lot of extra money, and we'll see. Hopefully they get it figured out and are able to get up and running. Be a big loss to curling here in the Nova Scotia. This one's going to go too far too. The guys really are not getting much of a handle on how to make these rolls. Both teams, neither team has really made much when it comes to the roll. Just having a little hard time. Sometimes it's just hard to trying to get the weight and the ice matched up, and the weight the thrower is throwing versus the weight maybe that the caller is calling aren't always the same, and they're trying to both be the same, but it doesn't always work. So another chance. Seems like it's just a definite game of chances here. Another chance for Maeda to sink one around, sit two. If he can put this around there and be above the tee line, it will make it very difficult for Libbus to avoid two, and maybe difficult to avoid a 3-ender. So needs to make it. He'll be pretty pumped to try to make this one after having 2 misses the last end, but I'll tell you, I'm not so sure. The guys are on this really hard, right out of his hand. The question is, can they get it there? Both guys on the same side now, trying to get it there, but also make it move. And he's going to get there. Now, can he bury enough? Well, that is one tremendous sweeping job by the front end there. They took that from the second he let it go right to the top of the forefoot and buried it. Just a well done sweep by the front ender there, front enders. Great jobs. Libbus looking at how to escape this. Looking at maybe coming down and just picking the back one. And giving up just an open draw for 2. Certainly not a shot that you are real happy about playing. You don't have a choice, but and he'll get the top one. I don't think it really mattered which one he got. Just had to make sure he got one. So Jacob Libbus escapes a 3-ender, but will probably give up 2 here. With Takumi Maeda just needing a piece of the paint to get 2. Not a spectacularly played end compared to some of them. This one was just a no real big blatant misses to speak of, but just so many opportunities to make a roll that nobody made. So Maeda now probably tried to give the sweepers a little tiny bit more than the last shot. they still might not have been 100% recovered, although most of these guys are, or most of these curlers now are so athletic and they recover pretty quick. It's like a hockey player, you just need probably 30, 40 seconds to recover before you go again. And there's the draw for 2. And we will be all tied up after 3 ends of play. Here's the 2025 Saville Grand Prix on Curling Stadium. We are in Edmonton, Alberta at the Saville Community Sports Complex. We'll be back right after the break.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at GSOCtickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
So as we go to the end number 4 here, we're kind of back to where we started. All tied up, this time at 3. Bit of a game of missed opportunities here, although it's, or missed opportunities and quite frankly giving the other team points. But these teams will figure it out. So I'm in a little bit of trouble matching everything up right now. Libbus will have hammer. Last time he had hammer, he scored 3. So he would like to score here. 4th end is a nice end to score, preferably 2 in a tie game, but definitely would like to score more than 1. Coming around, this is going to be okay. The top 4 foot and completely behind the guard. For Taroko. Well done. So you can see the center guard went up, the corner guard went up, the come around happened, and now Michael Hendricks will look to play an outturn draw behind the corner. Hendricks lets it go pretty nicely. Nice rotation. Sweeper's not touching it, would maybe indicate it's a tiny little bit heavy. It doesn't look real heavy. He did throw his last draw attempt through the house, so being a little careful, but this looks okay. That'll be a nice shot. Good shot for the lead stone, Hendricks. Still can't remove the rocks out front yet. So Maeda gonna come right in around again. This is Kamikawa. And another very nice shot. Ducked right around there beautifully. There's not much choice here but to run that guard. He may choose to run it in there because you can probably get rid of a couple, although the top one most likely would jam on the red. Probably will take a shot at that, though. Those are so good, and they seem to have that line figured out pretty good. You don't want to give them shot after shot at this. Ooh, odd decision there. The Zachary looks down when he lets that go. But, well, interesting. Almost got it. Well, he got it out far enough to be number 3 and kind of hit it on the wrong side, but very good. Improves the situation a fair bit, actually. Thanks to colleague Dave Schmel, who's actually in Pittsburgh curling this weekend, telling me that Kitami is in Hokkaido, which is the northernmost island of Japan. So thanks, Schmel, for that. I'd answer you on the chat thing, but I still haven't got that figured out. It just doesn't seem to want to let me type anything in there, so I'll get that fixed sometime in the next couple of days and be able to use that again the next time I'm on. But for now, nice guard. So Libbus with another chance to run back. This is not a real crazy long run back for these guys. And as Polyak could make this, he does the same thing. It's very interesting. There's a number of people that have done that over the years. Wayne Madaw even used to look down at the rock. Very nice shot. I would find that very, very odd, but if you do it all the time, I guess you get used to that. You're basically, in his case, he's only just a second or so away from letting it go, maybe less than that, when he just kind of, his eyes drop to the stone, or at least that's what it looks like from here. Might have to see that up close sometime to really know, but it worked. He just made 2 great run backs, so it's obviously not a problem for him. He's letting it go where he's supposed to let it go, which is what it's all about. So Hiroki Maeda now is coming around the center guards. This one looks like it could be out there a ways. Kind of looked like he popped her out a little bit. Starting to move pretty good now. He's got the weight. He's going to have a good one. It's got to be full 8 foot. He's not going to get there. So there's a guard out there for him to work with, but not a marvelous shot, that one. So Team Libbus now looks like they're going to throw the intern. Same shot that Maeda just tried. Albert didn't look 100% convinced on this, but I think he's fine. He was just getting straight what he was doing. Not a ton of ice, so you have to make sure you have at least a nice positive release on this, and you're not crazy light. So you might not be able to get it by otherwise, so that looked fine. Lots of rotation. We'll keep it out there for a little while. And Hendricks on the brooms is starting to move. Still got to move quite a ways. And be a little deep as well, so he won't be real excited with that because it kind of lets Maeda off the hook a little bit. He can make a decent draw here and actually be in a positive position. He'll look to have a much better run at this one. His previous shot sitting out there a couple feet in front of the house. That's not the preferred location. Sweeper's jumping on this now. A lot of effort put into the sweeping. They've got to go. They might have left this one too long. Might have left it too, well, definitely left it too long. And Ice might, for whatever reason, Ice is just giving both teams a little bit of trouble here tonight. Not necessarily blaming the Ice, but it seems really odd to see both teams struggling so much here. I mean, that was, again, on that shot, you know, that's a sweeping error that very significant. I mean, he had to go another 6 feet almost to get to that red rock. And I know you don't want to bump it, but you know, they didn't start on that till 3/4 pole, basically. So Wolberg now. See what he can do. That's a good shot. It's amazing how the game turns so quickly. You know, you go from a minute ago, just one shot previous to this. Maeda, if he makes a decent shot, has Libbus in big trouble. He misses significantly. And now Libbus makes one really nice draw, and Maeda is in a deep pile of trouble here. Looking to make a roll here. Gonna be really close on this. We can get a little bit more. Well, he didn't get shot, but I'll tell you what, that's still a very nice shot. Very gutsy shot. I don't know if he had a lot else, but still, to play that. And if he gets another, maybe an inch, we'll have a look again. Thanks, Kaylee. You're gonna look at this again, and he gets just a tiny little bit more. Looking to make a roll through the outturn. Okay, so they had to hold really close on this and get straighter, and he actually would have got the top rock, and maybe didn't get shot. But I'll tell you what, that's still either way, just a tremendous shot by Takumi Maeda. So Jacob Libbus now playing the out turn. He's going to look to come right around and lock this basically on the Yellowstone on the edge of the button. Going to be close, I think. If they get enough curl, and probably will. Another beautiful shot. Really well done. That is tremendous. So Maeda now really in a lot of trouble. Going to be very difficult for him not to give up 2 here. Just trying to look around, see what he's got. And it's really not very much. Might be able to go around on the intern. I'm just looking at the overhead. Thinking he maybe can come around on this intern turn and move that red back far enough to... I don't know if he can do that or not. But he might have to try. I don't know what else he can play. That out turn that Jacob just threw, Jacob Libbus, probably doesn't do him any good now. There's really nothing he can do on that. And there's the intern, and the intern's super tough to move it out. If you can't move it out, then he really hasn't got anything. He can't afford to take the run on the red that's out there. You know, at the end of the game or something, you might try that, even though I don't think it's there. Well, definitely not there to get rid of the reds without getting rid of the yellow, but at the same time, you might play it for whatever. There's really nothing coming off of here. I think you're giving up 2, and you better maybe play a shot that will only mean that you do give up 2. Which might mean, as odd as it would be, throwing some kind of a guard here. I mean, if you're going to draw in there, which I don't think gains you anything, but if you are going to draw in there, you better make sure that you're not heavy. Because you'll just give Libbus a chance to get his 3, because he does have a very tough time. He will play the out turn, I suspect. No matter where you throw this, if you guard this intern side, he's probably going to play the out turn, come around, and hopefully find enough weight just to move that back so that his shooter will count, which means he only has to move it probably, maybe not even a rock. Well, definitely not a rock, probably half a rock. And if you guard that side, then he's probably going to come around and see if he can find a way to squeeze another one in around the intern. But I don't think that's there on the intern. For him, even. So Maeda's throwing the shot here that I just really not quite sure where he's going to put it. I think he's really trying to just take something away from Libbus, but I'm not sure he's taking the right side away. I think the other side is a more realistic chance for 3 than this side. This really is just a guard. Don't sweep it too much because you don't want it to curl much more than where it is. So a good shot. I just don't know that it was the right shot. I do believe that he guarded the side that was the more difficult shot for Libbus than this one, although I'll tell you what, this is not easy. I know he just made it, more or less, he made a draw, but now you've got to throw a little tiny bit more than draw weight and still have it hook enough. It's just a tough, tough shot. The other great news with this game, though, is that we are just barely over an hour, and we've almost got 4 ends done, and that hasn't been happening lately. Games have been so long. We've been complaining a lot about it. Some of us are going back and forth on it, so we won't dwell on it, but kudos to these guys for moving this one along at a much more 8-end pace, really. Jacob Libbus now with an attempt to get 3. A very, very difficult shot. Already sitting 2, we think. Pretty sure he's sitting 2, but this is going to be on the guard, I think. And maybe not. Maybe he sneaks it by. Oh, he came so close. And you know what? If he gets by that, he makes that shot, I think. Not sure yet if it's one or two. Tell you what, so they got a lot of rocks to clear out. Scoreboard's at the other end, so let's take our break now, and we'll be back in just a minute with the fourth end, or the fifth end, I guess, and the score.
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. The need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed, and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, custom chaos? One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Blister juice, freshly made, your way.
That's life. That's what all the people say.
Welcome to the rockshop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
So we're back momentarily. They haven't actually even posted the score yet, and we have a few minutes left, so we are going to let you take the chance to support our sponsors for one more trip through the commercial, and we'll be back right after that.
That's life. That's what all the people say.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at GSOCtickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed, and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, Custom Chaos?
One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Blister juice, freshly made, your way.
So back for fifth end action here at the Saville Grand Prix. Jim Nix with Kaylee handling our production for us today. We have a pretty good game going here. It's a good game because it's close. And there's been some nice shots, but there has been a number of misses, which has resulted in the score still being close. But you know, both teams seem just a little bit confused by ice and some tricky situations, but at the same time, there's been some great shots too. So Libbus with a 2 in the fourth end has taken a 5-3 lead here as we go to end 5. Guys have moved this game along very nicely, and we again got to give them kudos for that, because some of the teams are not doing that, and it makes for a long day for everybody, for you watching, for us doing this, and for the ice makers and people that are trying to get done what they have to get done. But this one slides in to the house, so Maeda's going to ignore it. Go to the corner guard. That one that slid in was not unintentional. Definitely was where they were trying to go. Trying to set up corner here now for Team Maeda. Going to be over curling a little bit. You know, we'll have the corner, but not maybe quite as much of the corner as you'd like to have. I always like to be able to have the corner guards be protecting a piece of the 8-foot at least. Just gives you more room to work with. Michael Hendricks now looking to basically duplicate the shot he just threw. Just talking a little bit at the break about the Japanese program and how fast growing the sport is there, and the fan base there. And as we mentioned, we have many fans from Japan on the stream tonight taking in the game, and thank them for doing so. And also, you know, we see that because so many events now, you will see, you know, you might have 3 and 4 teams out of Japan in certain events, and that's a lot. There's a lot of teams over here. Other countries as well, Korea, particularly on the ladies' side with Korea, they have, I think Korea has 3 of the top probably 10 or 12 teams in the world now. So very, very strong market in the Asian part of the world. Part of the world that we keep talking about in our household, getting over to see. There's a couple countries we'd like to get to. I don't know if we're going to, but we're going to give it a shot sometime over the next few years if everything holds up okay. So that rock was not good that Team Maeda just threw there. Really not good at all, to be honest. Did nothing other than make things more difficult. Now Libbus coming around again. Probably to be a little, at least tight. Needs to curl a little. And here it goes. It does, it just hooks so much at the end, but man, you got to wait a long, long time for that to happen. Now for Maeda, unfortunately, because of the way those rocks are lined up, he has to peel without much opportunity. If he might, you know what, he might catch the back. I don't know if these will drag that far or not, but he might end up being able to catch something in the house. He's throwing it hard enough. So if he can hit half of that, probably roughly half of that top rock, he might drag it back, and he did. And just a tremendous shot I didn't know if it would go that far or not, but it did. Really changed things, and now Jacob Libbus now will look at getting rid of that corner guard. That's certainly turned this end around. He almost got them all, but for all intents and purposes, he got enough for Skipper to be happy about that. Libbus now looking to remove the corner. It's probably a pretty good call here with a 2-point lead. There's really nothing. He's got nothing going for his team that would maybe give them a steal, and really going to be playing defense the rest of the end anyway, so he might as well play defense in the house if he has to. And I suspect you will see both teams now playing the same shots. Well, maybe if he hits that, it'd be different. Yeah, okay, so that changes. I originally thought if he didn't hit that, he just got rid of it, that you would have both teams perhaps playing for the blank here at the end. I think you're going to see Maeda just stay in the house with this shot. Oh, maybe not. Pointing to the corner. I thought this being the 5th, and he might just decide to go in the house and then try to whack away for 4 rocks and blank the end, and go to the next end, go to the 6th end with him. And he still may end up doing that yet, but this call is the corner guard. Of course, you might put it there. Judging by the fact Libbus hit the last one, he may just walk up and take this off anyways. And he will. So he's not unhappy with Maeda blanking this end, obviously. Not that he could do much about it right now, to be honest. He'd have to go in the house and see what happens. So probably not going to change much. Out-turn peel for Mulberg. Nathan, very nicely done. Now Maeda's going to go in the house. We had a situation in the game this afternoon where both teams basically were playing, it might have been the same end actually, kind of the same way. Both teams were pretty much playing for a blank and just carrying on about what we could do to save time. We thought, well, why not do it like the baseball players do when they want to walk somebody now? They just say, okay, hold up 4 fingers, and they go on. So you should just be able to both agree to skip the last 4 shots, just go to the blank end. Save a little time, save a little pain and such on the legs, and both teams are going to play the same thing anyway, which is kind of what you're going to see here, because they're going to go in the house. Libbus is going to hit it, and if he stays, Maeda's going to hit it. It's just going to go back and forth, and then no matter whether or not he can blank on the last shot, which is what happened today, and that didn't happen. They did all of that, and then they stayed on the last shot. So might have to amend that rule and just say, well, you have to throw the last shot. Anyway, none of that's going to happen, but we're going to be interested to see what does happen with the blank ends, and we'll find out a little more this weekend at the, I think it's this coming weekend, next weekend, I guess it is actually technically. The Grand Slam, where they are going to test the 1 blank per game for teams. See what that does, if it does anything. So hit and stay from Mulberg, and now Maeda will ask the other Maeda, Hiroki, to hit and stay. I think that rule will notice it in some of the games, because we've seen a few games where you'd have 2 or 3 blanks, but it's not really that many blanks in these games, I don't think, although I don't have the numbers in front of me. Somebody could tell you what those were. Will this stay? If that hangs on, that could be a little bit tricky, and it will. So Mulberg now holding the broom. And actually interesting, Jacob Libbus already at the other end. So this event doesn't have clocks or anything. So there's no need for him to be in a hurry, but he's down there and ready. So that's awesome. The only thing I don't like about it, if there's anything I don't like, is they haven't been out here. So this might have been one of those times when it wouldn't have been a bad idea to be there, but I'm sure Jacob won't have too much trouble with this anyway. Michael Hendricks on it hard to hold it out there, and he's going to be fine. And not going to stay, but so Maeda now will draw to the button, or the button area at least. Takumi Maeda. Maeda, maybe it is actually, not Maeda. Just got to make sure this goes in the house. You don't want to drop it short or something silly like that. Have Libbus come around it and have to deal with it. I think you're okay if you're a little heavy, because with a 2-point lead, he's not going to ever consider playing a draw to it. No problem for Libbus, and he will stay. Will he stay? I don't know. And he will. Sort of that same, more or less that same area where Libbus threw his first shot. But this is a big shot here. You really, really do not want to stay on this shot. You do not want to be one down without playing in number 6. Hard, be okay, but he is going to roll out. Man, it looked like a nose hit for a minute. So we will have a blank end here in end number 5. We're in the final round of the round robin portion of the Saville Grand Prix here at the Saville Community Sports Complex. We'll go to break and be back in just a minute.
That's life. That's what all the people say.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again? Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at gsoctickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed, and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, custom chaos?
One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Twister juice, freshly made, your way.
So, just 3 minutes to go here in this game between Jacob Libbus and Takumi Maeda. Maeda blanking the previous end, a retain hammer going to end number 6 here. Jacob will probably go fairly hard here to try to force Maeda into just a single, which would leave him in a pretty good spot going to end number 7, up one with. Sixth end is always pretty pivotal in so many games. Big end to score, certainly an end to score 2 if you're down by a couple, but to score in general is kind of good. Even if you're tied up, it's not a terrible end to take 1 point with hammer. If you're 1 up, it's not a bad end to take a single point with hammer. So it's a big end. Michael Hendricks with 2 very nice shots there. He's got 1 on the forefoot and then throws 1 short. They're having a look here to see whether or not this rock is touching the circles. So if it's touching, they can hit it naturally, and if it's not, then they can't. And it looks like they have decided it's not. Otherwise, I'm sure Takumi wouldn't have had the discussion if he wasn't going to hit it anyway, so. So Gakuto to Oko with his second. This is going to be very close. He can sneak it by. Oh, and such a disaster, because I believe that was... Okay, I guess they're okay. Well, they're not okay. Must not have been touching the center line. I was trying to decide whether or not it was actually touching the center line. If it was, then it would have had to go back. But apparently not. So, anyway, moves on. And a little hit on flop for Zachary Polyak, who's had a very good game ever since I commented on noticing how he does tend to glance down before he lets the rock go, which again, just say again, is not super uncommon. You see it far more than you'd expect you'd see it. He hasn't missed a thing. He's made a couple of really nice run backs and nice shot there. He hasn't missed anything. So just keep checking that out. So Kamikawa now with his first here. And he'll get the top one and roll over. Like to roll all the way over. See that so often where it doesn't roll behind either one, just rolls right into the hole. Seems like by accident you'd probably roll behind one of those most of the time, and lots of times it doesn't. Zachary with a little more gentle shot here. Soft weight hit through the port. And he's going to roll a little too far too. But actually that's pretty good. Quite good. I thought if it rolled another few inches it wouldn't have been so great, but very nicely done. So Kamikawa now being asked to basically just tap this back. Probably something in the area of backline to hack for weight. I don't think they'd mind if it went out. I don't think that's the question here. Gotta get by that top one. He's not going to. He's going to put another rock maybe on the rings. Well, they may get it out. Gotta go when it hits the top. Well, didn't get it out, so. Number 3, Jacob will probably hit it. And he will. And not shaping up nearly the way Maeda would like it to shape up. That's for sure. So a lot of red stones in the house here for Team Libbus. He just decided he's going to have to make something else happen here, so he's going to try to hit this rock. I don't know if he can make the double. I think they're pretty close together. I don't think he wants to throw like a blast at this. He wants to be able to control the shot rock, the shooter. Maybe get a little roll behind a corner. Hiroki Maeda rather, with this one. Trying to hold it a little bit straight. And going to hit it right on the nose, which also can work. That's very nice, actually. And that might have been what he was playing, actually. It seemed like they swept for that all the way down, so probably wasn't trying to get the roll after all. I had maybe wrong on that. Nathan Malberg now being asked to take this out, and this will be, I believe, much more weight. I think he's just trying to blast this out of there. I don't think this is one that you're trying to hit it right on the nose. We'll know pretty quickly. No, maybe he isn't. He's certainly not throwing enough weight to take it out, I don't think. So he may be trying to just replace shot or duplicate, I guess, better way to put it. Shot that Maeda just played, and look at this. This is nice as well. Really nice. Good shot, although I will say that this gives Maeda a bit of an opportunity, in my opinion. He can certainly come around that corner and sit 2. Yeah, I think that's good, and as long as you don't go too deep, be protected pretty good. It won't be able to make the double, so interesting. Does make me wonder a little bit why they played that shot. Ouch. The last shot before that, Libbus, he could have just blasted that out, I think. Certainly not throwing enough weight to take it out, I don't think. See it here. So maybe trying to just replace just a little bit. Shot or duplicate, I guess, better way to put it. Don't end up quite shot that Maeda just played, and look at this. This is nice as well. Really, actually, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm a little tiny little bit of an undercurl. Thanks for that, Kaylee. And now we will see Maeda just go. He says it because I don't know quite where he was going. I think he's going around the corner. And he is, after all. After that, just kind of looked a little odd when he let it go, so got to go a little further yet. Got to go a little further yet. And pretty nice effort. He can get to that one, and he can make the double. It's a big problem. Yellow on the yellow. If that rock is a little tiny bit further, then the double becomes very difficult. It's not easy as it is, but it becomes very difficult in the sense that you could hit both rocks and actually still leave one of them in the rings because it would jam on the red. So Libbus doing a lot of room touching here. We'll wait a second to see if we can figure out what he is going to do. I think the double is there, I think the double is just a little bit scary, so I think he will probably look at playing. He's definitely looking at it, playing his red on the yellow. That's definitely an option. Also took a look at hitting the one they just threw and rolling towards the center, but I don't know if I like that. That's pretty hard. I think the double is just as easy or equally as hard, whichever way you want to put it. So have a little group chat here. Good idea, really. There's about 3 options here. Really, you can hit the red on the yellow. Could make the double by hitting the rock close to the center line, and then the one that's splitting the 8-foot, 12-foot there. And the third one probably is to play the in-turn hit on the rock they just threw and make the roll back towards the center. And that'd be great if you made it, but I think that's pretty tough too. So it looks like we do have a timeout maybe happening here. And we have I don't know who coaches them, but it looks like they have a coach out with them now. So we'll see what they decide. Tough decision. I think you got to be a little careful. You're up 2, and you don't want to give up 2, but you want to do anything crazy. I know there'd be a lot of players that would throw this double on the 2 yellows, the yellow one just about on the 4-foot, hit a third of a stone, and then hit the other one, and probably both yellows go. I'm pretty sure they would both go. So there'd be a lot of players who would play that. But you're not going to see very much of it from the other end. You're only going to see a half a rock. And if you ever clip that top red one, you may or may not get away with it, because you may go over and take out the red, or the yellow rather, than splitting the house there. So they've decided they're going to play the red on the yellow. I think probably the intent would be to hit red, yellow, yep, roll over there. You wouldn't really, when I say roll over there, the shooter's not going to roll over there, but the target stone, this run right by there where he has his room now, would be rolling over behind the corner. Good news, as long as you make this go away, you're probably not going to be sitting that badly, and certainly not running a great risk of giving up a 3 anywhere anytime soon. So front end's ready. Jacobs getting down the hack here. He's all set. Throwing the out-turn hit. Just a nice, easy hit. Got to get over there a little bit more. And it will. And it'll roll behind the corner. That's a beauty, I think. Quite nicely done. He almost punched it a little tiny bit too far. And this is probably makeable for Maeda to make this and sit 2. But very difficult. He's got a lot of room to work with. And if he ever touches the top one, then he's probably going to be forced to 1 for sure. And it could be tough, so... Big shot for Takumi Maeda here in end number 6. In round number 6. It's hard to relate to the number of sheets they have here. You couldn't even imagine saying, well, we're going to have 6 draws and 20 teams, 6 draws, and everybody's going to play 4 games in just 6 draws. It just couldn't do it in most curling clubs. This looks really, really light to me. Will he get by? Can he sneak it by? And if he does, oh, he just rubbed, but oh, just so unfortunate. Just had the tiniest little rub, I think. Just a hair light. Needed just a little bit more, really. Might have got it out with that if he didn't touch the front one at all. Well, if Kayla, you don't happen to have that again, do you? Probably not, but if she did, it would be nice to see that one again. But anyway, it doesn't appear so. So I think it just had a verso slight rub and ended up just changing the direction just enough that you didn't get to the stone. So a good effort, though. Jacob Libbus now will look to remove the only other yellow stone that's counting. It's number 2. It was currently sitting number 1, number 3, number 4, number 5. Trying to make it a clean sweep here, sitting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If he gets this out, stays. Again, not a super easy shot. It's going to have to be relatively close to the guard. Henrik's on it early. His job is to keep it straight, so he must be curling. He's fine. Really nice shot. Really quite nice shot, and a very nice sweeping job as well by the front enders. In this case, really just Michael, because they do most of the time have just one sweeper on virtually all of the shots, really, to be honest. Very rare do they have two going. Most teams don't have 2 going very often, but these guys are probably even a little more than most teams. So Maeda now has to go through the hole, hit, and can't roll very far at all to score 1. Last rock at 6th end. This actually looks really, really good. A very nice shot. Really nice shot in the situation where he really had to make a good shot. There couldn't be any even half miss there. So Maeda will pick up 1 in the 6th end. He will trail 5-4 as we go to end number 7. And we will be back right after the break.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting 10-fold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
Well, 2 ends to go here before we have a winner of this pool. These 2 teams both playing in the same pool and both have the same record at 3-0. Looking to secure spots in the playoffs. As we mentioned earlier, it looks like both teams are through to the playoffs, but playing for first place in the pool for the pride and joy that will give you, plus usually gives you a preferred spot in the draw. So we'll see a good shot by Maeda there to to get within one. He was looking at 3 or 4 Libbus stones there. So miss here by the lead to not get that rock on the center line. Allows Michael Hendricks and Team Libbus to play the previously more common tick shot. We just don't see the tick shot much anymore because with the no tick rule on the center line, there's not that many shots that are off the center line that anybody actually wants to tick. So we'll see. These guys probably practice it a little bit. And usually looking for somewhere around hack weight. This is definitely that. He needs to make contact. Don't think it's going to quite get over there. No. Good try. It was just, again, just not a shot they play very much anymore. A little hard to know exactly what somebody's going to throw and exactly how much ice to take for a shot like that. So, Maeda now. Looks like, I think he's coming right in on this, which maybe be a little bit of a surprise. I look at the 7th end in this situation, this score at 5-4, that it's almost give it all you got to steal. You know, you might get to a point in the end where it looks like you're not going to steal, but you may be able to force. So you decide to go for that instead. But I think you have to start this end with the intention that you are going to try to steal one at all costs. This is a little heavy, and as a result, it's going to come right out the other side. Now the center guard is going to be gone, and Maeda is going to be hard pressed to find a way to steal. He may now, even this early in end, you may see him shifting to some sort of a force plan, where he tries to force Libbus into just taking one and having hammered down 2 coming home. So they did feel the guard, no problem. Guard going back up for Team Maeda. It's interesting in this situation because he's going to throw the guard on the center line, and knowing full well that even though his Barak is almost biting the 4-foot, or is biting the 4-foot, will be wide open, and he's okay with that because Libbus is not going to play that. He's not going to play he's going to play the center guard. And should he ever decide to play the one in the house, that's fine. You're quite okay with that because you really need one closer to the button to have a chance to score. And if he goes to the one in the house, then you come around and you can put it right on the button. So probably would throw a guard, but that option at least exists. Okay, second stone again, Zachary Polyak. This will be his second stone, or first stone. What do we got here? Second stone. Well, that if you happen to be popping on, I think our scoreboard is just kind of like, it did this earlier today too, kind of frozen up a little bit. So the actual correct score is 5-4 for Team Libbus, and Libbus actually has hammer here. So going this way is not too bad. You can just see it right on the scoreboard, so you can actually look it up yourself. When we go the other way, it's a little bit more of a challenge because it's not there. Okay, we got it working now. It's good stuff. I don't know anything about the technical part of this. I just know that there's sometimes these things have an automation factor and some of them are manual. I don't know why or when they have to do it that way or anything about it, but it's just another task that usually our production guys and girls, as we they just figure it out, and the magic happens. You gotta love it. Nathan Malberg now will play the hit and try to probably roll over somewhere in the vicinity of the other yellow rock. quite. So you can see now that Maeda really, he recognizes the fact that he really isn't in any position to steal a point here. So he is going to just try to make sure if he can keep these two rocks spread apart, keep them in the house first of all, and keep them spread apart far enough that there's no double to be made, and he might be able to force Libbus into the single, which would be much better for him. Ooh, he needs to hang around, and it will. Whoa. You might think, well, how good is that? Like, where it's almost out of the house, and yeah, you're right. It is almost out of the house, but it changes the plan for Libbus. Libbus has to find a way to not take one, or at least he wants to find a way not to take one. Now, will he possibly on his own shot switch it up and play a freeze maybe to that yellow one? And you know what? Normally I would say no, he'll never do that. But he has thrown 2 or 3 draws of late, and they have been beauties. They have been absolute pistols. They've been just, weight's been beautiful, the call's been beautiful, everything about it was good. So he just might switch that up and play the freeze on his first shot in an effort to get the proverbial skip's deuce. This one's curling hard, but he's going to be okay. Made it go away, that was the key. Like to stay, but made it go away. You gotta make them go away at this point. Maeda now looking to split the house again. Try to get it way over there. Make sure this is in play and as close to even as you can be with the other one. Sweeper's just cleaning, and looks like it should be fine. Sweeping now just to even them up as much as they can. I want to stay on this, and they did. Jacob Libbus is going to go. Very, very gutsy play. I don't know that a lot of teams would do this. I'm not sure. Matter of fact, I probably know that a lot of teams wouldn't do this, but some might. So what he's saying here is he's going to go after his 2, and he's okay if he has to take 1. The problem I have with it, the only problem I have really, is that it's really, really, really tough to get 2 in this situation. So you've got to make a perfect freeze, which might be the hardest shot in curling for starters. And then, you know, if it's perfect, I guess, if it's not quite perfect, let's put it that way, then Maeda gets it out and forces you to 1. I don't know if you want to be forced there. But he's on the verge of being forced, I guess, is the way to look at it, and say, well, if he doesn't do that, if he goes ahead and hits something and rolls over, there's still a very, very good chance he's going to be forced. So what the heck? I'll give him credit for playing this, and I think he'll be really close for the weight because he's been close all night. Just a matter of whether or not they can get the line really good. And right now it's got to curl a little more, but it's getting much better, and it's also short. Whoa, 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 that's interesting. And does change things somewhat. He cannot be happy with that. He needed to be, the tolerance, if you will, on that shot was certainly not to be light. Tough call, though, from Maeda, to be honest. He can't afford to jam this or anything. And the question, he's got an opportunity here maybe to steal a point or set up a steal with the possibility he gives up 1, because if he can find a way to force Libbus to draw, if he ever misses a draw, Maeda will score, and if he makes it, he'll get one. So what to do? He could just hit the red one if he wanted and say, okay, we're sitting 3. You go ahead and make your shot, but you got to make it. Now, it wouldn't be terribly hard, but sometimes they're all hard as the game goes on. So, interesting call by Maeda here. He is going to go right around the red one. Basically, almost a freeze to his own. I don't think I saw this shot coming. So Takumi Maeda now with his final stone here in end number 7. He does have to be good with this. Guys are working pretty hard. They really want to get inside this red stone, if nothing else. And he is going to be way short. That is significantly short. I'm not sure what's going on here tonight, to be honest. Things just seem odd, so. So Jacob Libbus now going to play the fairly short out-turn run back on his own stone and onto yellow. So you can obviously understand there is a degree of risk here for Libbus. And that if he ever didn't hit this, didn't make contact with the back one, if it was because he didn't curl up enough, he's probably given up 2. It's because it overcurls just ever so slightly. He probably gets away with giving up 1 or possibly still getting 1. So let's let him throw it first and see where it ends up. And then we can talk about it after that. It looks pretty good. And it is. And it will be a score of 2 for Jacob Libbus. A very nice shot. Jacob's had some really, really nice shots these last couple ends. He made the couple of draws 2 ends ago, 3 ends ago, whenever that was, and just made that nice little raised takeout for 2. He will take a 7-4 lead to the 8th end when we come back.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting 10-fold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at GSOCtickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
So, tough task here in end number 8 for Takumi Maeda as he trails by 3 with Hammer playing the 8th end, but 3 is a tough score to get, especially when the other team's willing to give you 2. And then you have to still steal the next end. So, but let's see what he does. We're just in lead stones here. The leads to be Libbus's leads first shot, I think. He got 7. No, second shot. I guess he's throwing first. So this is Michael Hendricks for Team Libbus. Something there in front of the rock. Good idea to clean that up. It's too late after you run over it. Another interesting call. He's looking to play, because he can't take it out of play, he's looking to tick this shot into the rings. I don't know. I don't know if you, I'll tell you what, you could play that shot all day long and never be able to put that rock in front of that red one like that. But that his attempting there was really to bump that right into the circles so he could hit it, but also gets rid of the guard that was there without costing you anything. So really, actually a pretty good shot. I don't think if you're scoring that, I think it basically made the shot. Yeah, or 3/4 of the shot at least. So. Sneak it by a little bit. That's a good shot. It's a very good shot. So while Takumi's just trying to sort this out, so a reminder that tomorrow, Championship Sunday here at the Saville Grand Prix, is starts tomorrow morning at 8:30. 3 draws tomorrow, quarterfinals at 8:30, semifinals at 12:45, and finals at 5. And we will be on covering at least some of the games in all those draws, maybe even all the games, but we will be on here. Ooh, that one just barely hung on, and pretty much open. Libbus will ask Zachary Polyak to hit the one at the back of the house. He could peel the corner if he wanted to, but most of the time it seems these teams will go with, let's hit the one that's counting, we'll deal with the one that's out front later, if we have to. And on its way, Polyak trying to hit a rock in the house. It's not in the house by very much, but and this looks good. Man, he has had a good day. Zachary Polyak takes that rock out. Now Maeda trying to figure out where he needs to go. Problem with the corner guard is just a little bit long. But if you can get this one in, you're going to have to leave it fairly high so there's not quite as much room. So Kamikawa. Kawa. So when the out turn come around. In turn come around, sorry. This looks pretty good. Not sure if he's trying to get this in. I guess he's not. Just trying to set up the kind of that duplicate guard or double guards, if you want to call it that. Not on the rings, but Jacob's going to play it anyway. Jacob Libbus. You can see probably half, maybe a half from that hack. Let's tell us here. So yeah, let's call it a half. I think you play if you're going to play the back one, just play it tight. If you hit the top one, that's fine. Nathan Ballberg here. His first here in the 8th end. Third stone for Libbus. Nicely done, and added to the mess that's in front of the rock on the button for Team Maeda. Got to be trying to figure out where the heck do we go here. Takumi Maeda now. Oops. Well, he put 2 yellows on the rings. So that's better than nothing, that's for sure. So Maeda's got 2 in the rings, but the problem is Jacob Libbus has 2 that are far better than everything, and 1 that's better than the one that's a biter. So still not looking great for Team Maeda. Nathan Malberg now will throw the in-turn, trying to get the rock that's partially buried behind the corner here. And he's going to be fine. Roll again to the pile. Well, it's hard to know what to do if you're Maeda in this situation, but I gotta give him credit here. He's playing a shot here that's a pretty good option, actually, and I don't think I would have thought of that. I would have been disgusted where we are at this point in time and not thought of anything, but trying to make a double, but he's trying to make the double on the outside one, right there, and the one at the back of the 4-foot. Not quite, needed to keep it a little straighter. He hits about another, probably hits another inch and a half or something less of the stone. He's probably going to make that shot. But anyway, for now, it's a wide open takeout for Jacob Libbus, which will come very close to ending this game. Won't end it, but you can hit this. I don't even think it really matters. You just don't hit this and roll in front of the yellow, so you leave a corner guard. The worst case scenario you're going to have is a wide open hit on your last shot to win the game. I'm not hearing these guys, as you know, and sometimes that makes it a little bit tough trying to figure out exactly what they're playing. But basically, this is a nose hit for all intents and purposes. And it's on its way. I'm pretty sure he won't have any trouble hitting it. It's just a matter. He hits it right on the nose, which is pretty much what he said. So Maeda now will hit this pile of rocks and take his chances. There's a chance here of sitting 2 when this is all done, but I don't know that the middle rock misses the other yellow. So I'm not even sure this is completely there, but he's going to play it anyway, and he needs to, because he needs a lot to go well here in 2 shots. For starters, he's got to make a shot here and then have Jacob Libbus miss a wide open takeout. And then, once he does that, then Maeda's got to figure out how to get rid of whatever else is left in the house. So let's see where we get here. Get plan A done first, and he will do that unless it hits the yellow and it takes it out and the game is over. We'll wait for 1 second, but I'm sure they're shaking. And we have a final. Team Libbus, Jacob Libbus, Nathan Mulberg, Zachary Polyak, and Michael Hendricks will improve to 4-0, and they will be playing tomorrow on Championship Sunday. Maeda will drop to 3-1, and I think he will also be playing tomorrow, so expect to see both these teams tomorrow. Not a bad game here tonight. Thanks, Kaylee, in production, for helping us out and looking after everything that I at least don't know anything about. And for myself, Jim Nix, and for Kaylee, and for Jerry Gertz, and the whole Curling Stadium crowd and team, we would thank you for watching this final round robin in the 2025 Saville Grand Prix here on Curling Stadium. We will see you tomorrow for Championship Sunday. Thanks for watching.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at GSOCtickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.